inductee is a basketball coach, graduate of Gateway High School and Slippery Rock University of Pennsylvania. She played basketball at SRU, went on to play and coach professionally in Australia and New Zealand. She returned to the States in 1982 and coached for 8 years at Thiel College before moving over to Clarion University of Pennsylvania in 1990. She immediately turned the Golden Eagles program around and led them to 2 NCAA Elite 8, 1 Sweet 16, and 2 other NCAA appearances. During this time, they made 11 PSAC playoff appearances, winning 3 titles, 1 runner-up, and 2 Final Four finishes. She has been the PSAC West Coach of the Year 5 times and has a record of 314, 267 in 21 years at Clarion University. Would you welcome, please, our next inductee, basketball coach, Margaret Parsons.
Thank you, everybody. This is awesome being here. I'd really like to thank our Clarion table, Liggy for convincing me to come here, Dave, my AD, Rich for nomination, and Tick, my host. Thank you very much. When I first read my paper, I thought that we were supposed to speak for 45 minutes. And then I read it again and it said 4 to 5. I was like, I gotta, real quick, I gotta turn some of these pages over and change them up a little bit. Thanks to the committee who voted for me, and congratulations to all my fellow inductees. What a great class of inductees, just it's such an honor. I'd like to thank all my friends and colleagues, and I can't name them all, and we were told upstairs, again, that would take the 45 minutes that I'm not allowed to talk. Fairmont tournament we went to this year, and I was asked to do a little speech on the radio, and we just sat down and talked to the gentleman for quite a while, and he says, wow, you're a pioneer, you should write a book. Well, I'm going to take pioneer as a compliment. I'm not sure yet if it was a compliment or if it wasn't, but I feel like I represent all of the young girls and pre-Title IX women out there who had a passion to play a sport and didn't have a team. And I'd like to explain a little bit about how I learned how to play basketball. There are some people out here from Gateway that have an idea. There were 2 things women could do, girls could do, cheerleading and the gymnastics team. Well, after the first tryout for cheerleaders, I joined the gymnastics team. And I had to hide a ball in gym class. And I tell my dad to come and pick me up 2 hours after the gymnastics practice. And then I'd take that ball that I hid, and I had a little mat that I'd shoot and it'd come back to me. But if I missed a long rebound, Mrs. Crowell would come up and kick me out of the gym. And so I didn't miss too many long rebounds, believe me, because I didn't feel like sitting on the curb waiting 2 hours for my father to pick me up. My brother, Cliff, pretty good basketball player at Gateway, he was a senior when I was a sophomore. And there was a lot of his classmates that talked Mr. Fury, our AD, into having a team. And of course they asked little Maggie, you know, if she would play. And I played on that team, and it was the most incredible thing. I thought I died and went to heaven. My junior year, I begged Mr. Fury to field that team again, and he said no. And my senior year, I begged him, and he said no. And there were several parts of no that I didn't understand. And so I ended up finding a church in Penn Hills that had a gym in the basement, and picked a team, and we practiced there. We played games against Penn Hills and Plum and all these others. So we had a team our senior year, and we got to play basketball. Got to go to Slippery Rock, and 72 people tried out. And those were the only 72 people on campus that really thought they were going to make the basketball team. And it was a weird game back then. You all probably don't remember. It was that 6-woman basketball. We had 2 forwards, and you had two people that played defense, and 2 rovers. They got to run. Vivian Stringer from Rutgers was my roving guard, so Vivian's my teammate, and was probably the best player on the team. We played, that was my freshman year. My sophomore year, they changed, they decided women could go full court after all. We couldn't, you know, we didn't have to stay stationary. And half of we play Pitt and Penn State, and there was no divisions for women at all at that time. And half of our schedule, was 5-person basketball, and the other half was 6-person basketball. So it got a little confusing there. After my sophomore year, they figured we could run up and down the court now. And I swore, when I left Slippery Rock, that wherever I went was going to have basketball. And this, again, is pre-Title IX. So I got to Lakeview in 1971, and we had a team. And in '72, Title IX was enacted, the Equal Rights Amendment to the Constitution. And we started the Mercer County League and the PIAA. And so I guess maybe I am a pioneer. And while at Lakeview, Larry Fehrenbacher gave me the greatest opportunity in my life. And he actually coached my brother and Bernie, who's sitting over there, and a little shooter named Greg Popovich in the military. And got the connections to get us over to Australia. And played 60, 80 games, played with 3 teams, coached 3 teams. It was like a missionary of basketball. It was awesome. And got to go to New Zealand and do the same thing. And we were 3 times national champs, which I think is still a New Zealand record. I think I was the first American woman to ever go overseas and play again, another pioneer. Got home, got my master's at Slippery Rock, and got an opportunity to coach at Teal. And everybody said, you can't win at Teal, you just can't win at Teal. So our last year we entered the NCAA playoffs. And then I had 22 awesome years at Clarion University. And literally I've been around the world a couple times because of basketball. And I just wanted to put back into it. I've been honored to be on several national committees for the last 13 years of my career so far. In conclusion, I want to thank my big bro. He's no longer here. He was my brother, my father, my best friend, my confidant. He was my rock, and I know he's close to this room right now. I want to thank all the people that supported me, but especially I want to thank all the people that said, this can't be done. Thank you.